This episode is today with Maddie Roux. She is, I don't know why I made that French, but she is a South African rider. She's a very lovely person to chat with as well. She won the Zwift Academy. We do talk about that, but she does talk about it even better on her own channel, as I do say within the chat, and there will be links to that below. But she's a great rider. I can't wait to see how well she transitions to gravel. Her first race, which happened actually after this recording, she got third place, so clearly she's on a good trajectory already. But yes, this is me with Maddie Roux. Hi, thank you so much for joining me today. How are you doing?
Yeah, no, I'm good, thank you. Yeah, I'm near the coast, not in actually in a place with climbs this week, so I'm pretty happy.
That's interesting, actually, because one thing I will be asking at some point is like what type of rider you are, but also the fact that you're at the coast. You're from Bloemfontein, so that's like super central. Um,
It's like the Netherlands of South Africa. It's completely flat and windy.
Honestly, this is going to sound weird, but like, so there's a game called GeoGuessr. It's like Google Street View. You just get chucked
Yeah,
somewhere on Google, and you have to figure out where you are, and like you can move a bit, but you know. And if ever I'm in South Africa and I see like Afrikaans, I
yeah,
usually guess somewhere around like Bloemfontein because I'm like, I know that that's
it's
more of
very
a language
African.
there. Yeah, because I'm like, Bloemfontein on its own, that's quite an Afrikaans
Mm,
derivative name, I would guess. Um, so that's normally where I guess. So it's like, it's funny that you say it's like in Little Netherlands.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, I am also Afrikaans, so yeah, it's my
Ah,
hometown.
that's
But
so
I,
interesting.
I'm
So,
I'm I'm hoping I don't sound very Afrikaans when I speak English because I don't understand. Like I've seen they in the I don't know what where who voted for this or how they made it that the South African accent is one of the sexiest in the world, and I'm like, no, it's not. No, it's not.
we have that as well. Like, there's some accents that they're like, oh yeah, this one's good, and like, is it?
Uh,
Because
yeah.
like, well, and also it depends where you're from. Like, British people love the Irish accent, but then
Mm.
Irish people aren't so keen on their own accent. Like, it gets all confusing. Like, yeah, it's a very strange situation, but no, yeah, we've already kind of devolved into sort of general chatter, which I love. What brings you to the coast then? I mean, we have spoken a bit offline about it, but or I think I saw you post about it. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
but like,
so
yeah,
yeah, there's a gravel race here. Well, actually, like 3 hours away from here, but I'll go closer towards the weekend. But it will be my first gravel race, so I'm kind of excited for that, just to try something different and see if I can actually, use the power I have on the road on the gravel and see if maybe that is an option for going forward. So kind of excited, but also, yeah, getting a little bit of a holiday from the home setup back in Bloemfontein.
yeah, I suppose it would be, and yeah, it's exciting. Like everyone. No, because that's going to sound rude. But I was going to say, like, everyone seems to be doing gravel nowadays. But
Mm,
you know, it is the Worlds this weekend at time of recording. Obviously, this will go out after then. Um,
yeah,
but do you follow much of the kind of other disciplines? Obviously, you are known as a roadie, but that you
yeah.
know, everyone's got different interests.
Well, to be honest, I've actually only really now started to try and follow some of the gravel. Like I've watched some of the YouTube vlogs of some of the rider, like Maddie. I saw you did an interview with her as well.
Mm.
Yeah, just trying to absorb as much information as what I possibly can. So let's see.
Yeah, it's certainly a different spirit to road
Mm.
cycling. Whereas road, it's kind of it's very teamy and like it's this
Very, very,
weird.
very serious.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and there's that sort of quasi individual sport. It's like an individual takes the glory, but without the team
Yeah,
supporting them,
it's not
it's very
possible.
hard to do it. Yeah.
Mm.
Whereas gravel, it seems very much more self-sufficient. Um, the idea that you
Yeah,
don't have a mechanic
yeah,
during a race.
yeah. But I also feel like when I look at gravel racing, it just looks okay. Obviously, it's stressful and it's a race, and you want to do your best, and but it just looks slightly less. Yeah, I can't find another word for it. Less stressful.
Mm,
It just looks more fun. Like
yeah.
I enjoy riding on the gravel bike. The time just seems to go by because you don't have a lot of time. You have to be like switched on and concentrating all the time to look for the right lines on the gravel and stuff like this. Because I had a mishap this morning where I was like, I started having fun and like going like down this downhill, and all of a sudden I'm going through this thick sand, and I'm like, oh, I almost crashed. And I was like, I'm getting too comfortable. I need to start concentrating again. It's like on the road, it's different. So yeah,
Yeah,
just
I don't know why. Like, it feels like gravel. You could probably have like a pint of beer during it. Like, it's got that vibe to it. Whereas road, it's
maybe.
like you
I
wouldn't get
wouldn't
away with
try
that.
that, but I
Yeah,
wouldn't try that, but okay.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I think that all races should have like a pint of Castle, like or cans or whatever, just at the side, just in case. Like, if water's
Yeah.
not cutting it that day.
Well, like the beer miles, they should do like
Yeah. Oh God,
a
yeah.
gravel beer. I don't know what
Yeah.
you
What?
call it.
How frequently would you do it? Because like beer miles in running, it's like what, one lap of a athletics track. So
Every
that's what, every
400
400
meters. Yeah.
meters.
Yeah.
That's quite. So what? One a minute. So probably every kilometer. That could work. Have like a short
Or maybe
like.
maybe every 5 kilometer, and you do it like 6, 7 times and see who is still standing afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah. That sounds ideal.
But not too technical because then everyone should have insurance before they start this type of thing.
Yeah. See, I've got so many ideas for that as well. Like, you could make it tactical and say, oh, at one point you are allowed to pause and have like a 5K without a beer, but
Uh,
you have to have two at somewhere else and like catch
yeah.
up. And like,
Ooh.
when do you play your Joker? Do you just get the first 10K in like sober, but then have to do like 2 pints later on? Or, it's going to be magic that. Um, if anyone's listening, this is my original concept, and I came up with it. Um, Contact me for royalties. Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, how did you even get into cycling then? Like, what was your journey and genesis into it?
So I started a triathlon.
Hmm.
Or okay, I initially a runner, athletics and stuff, cross country, and then when I started high school around age 13 or so, I got introduced to triathlon. And after the first event, I guess the bug just took hold of me and never let go. Um, but then after or during 2020, when we were all locked in, uh, I tried to still train for a triathlon, but it was really difficult, especially the swimming part, because we didn't have a pool. And I ended up running like a half marathon in our 20-meter driveway. It was
Oh
crazy
God.
because I broke the
Hmm.
treadmill that I borrowed from someone within the first week. Like broken as in I probably ran too many miles or Ks. Um, that or my dad got on the treadmill. I'm not sure. He has not confirmed nor denied that he got on the treadmill. Anyway, yeah, then I got into Zwift, and so the one of someone introduced me to Zwift Academy, and yeah, participated in that, but only got to the semis that year, and that's where I was kind of like, well, financially it's getting a bit difficult to do the triathlon thing by yourself, because from South Africa you need to be able to race in Europe to get points to get entry into bigger races.
Hmm.
But you cannot get to Europe if you don't have like really good sponsors or mom and dad have a lot of pocket money,
Yeah.
which is not my case. So I thought maybe if I can get into a team, that's maybe a way I could get into Europe. And actually, I've all my time through triathlon, I spent the least amount of time focusing on cycling because I guess that and running was always my best. Um, and then people always told me that maybe if I focused a little bit more on cycling, I could get somewhere with it. And I always just said, like, these people are crazy. One sport for the rest of my life? Like, I would be so bored. It's not enough. Um, but yeah, then I eventually made the switch, and the first year I raced for a domestic team here in South Africa, and then also that year finished my studies at varsity. And then I was at a crossroads whether or not to is there a way to still pursue cycling or professional athlete, or do I now go into the professional job scene? Um, but yeah, then I found myself on the World Cycling Center team for 2 seasons, and now was 2 years with Canyon Tram Generation. So yeah,
Yeah, because like there's so many questions I have and things I want to bring up. Like, because yeah,
I
you
tried to
mentioned like,
keep it short. There's
oh, I
so
know
much
it's
much
great,
information.
but like, yeah, like when you mentioned that, it's hard to be a triathlete because you got to get to Europe. Um,
Mm,
you know, and thinking, I was like, oh yeah, because like I can name one South African triathlete, and that's Richard Murray, and then after that, there's no one, like no one I can name, and that's
yeah.
partially
Well,
on me for ignorance.
we have Henry Schoeman as well. Also did well at
Ah,
previous
yes,
Olympics. But yeah,
yeah,
there's and now some of them are. I know a few that still stayed in triathlon from my days that are trying to make it in Ironman and a half Ironman. But most of them are majority of the time located in South Africa anyway. So
yeah. It does sound tough. I think we take it for granted. Like in the UK, it just seems easier to access, and I guess
and you
when
can
you have
go
the
to
Brownlee brothers,
any,
like
yeah, and you can go to any European country at least for 90 days without a visa. Like
yeah,
I can't go anywhere without a freaking visa. It sucks.
yeah, it sounds it. I mean, like, yeah, but yeah, it's just, I guess, a complacency. I just never would have thought about it. But as soon
Mm,
as you mentioned it, I'm like, oh, that's perfectly clear. Like, of course it's difficult.
mm,
And I believe it's Iron Man Worlds this weekend as well.
yeah.
Just in case anyone's listening and is trying to figure out when we recorded this. So yeah, I'm guessing you still keep up vaguely with it. Or
Vaguely
certainly,
here and there, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
but not
Also,
as
but
much as cycling.
yeah, yeah, and that sort of triathlon to cycling pipeline does seem to be quite strong at times. So how did you get onto the World Cycling Centre team? Because it looks like an amazing project. I think it's great because you got riders like Nicholas Paul on the track, and there's been so many on the road that have had their kind of entry point being like
Like
this system
Marlin,
in Aigle.
Rusa, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, well, how did that kind of arrangement come about for you? Like, how do you even get onto that team for a start? Like,
Oh, I honestly, I have no idea. I think you're asking the wrong person. Um, but one of my teammates from South Africa, from the team I was in before, the South African team, she is friends with Ashley Momankashio,
mm,
and they got to talking, and she sent my numbers and CV to Ash, and then I guess Ash forwarded to the UCI, the people in charge at the center, and yeah, that same week they contacted me, and then boom, bada bing, I ended up there the next season. That's
that's
the best I can tell you because I honestly don't know.
that's crazy though, because it's like I'm definitely a strong believer in like the power of conversation.
Hmm.
That sometimes it's not like not everything has to be a business transaction. You know how people use LinkedIn? It's very much like,
Mm.
oh, this is what I can do for my job, and this is my ROI. And like, half the time, sometimes certainly, it's like just speak to people as people, and you never know. Like literally, the job I'm in currently was all down to like I happened to talk to someone once, and they
Yeah,
remembered me, and they got offered a job but they weren't right for it, but they knew I would be. But like it was complete chance. Like I had
yeah,
no control on that situation. It just happened to me. I'm very grateful it did, but like there's no like yeah, it's just networking but not for a tangible goal. It's just
it just
conversation for
happened.
conversation's
Yeah,
sake. Yeah, and I love that. And I think yeah, the fact that you got onto WCC through that like that's great.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
I love that, and certainly it looked like a couple of successful and interesting years. A lot of racing in Switzerland and top tens there. Um,
yeah, yeah. It was good, uh, but it's easier to remember the bad stuff, unfortunately. But
that's interesting. Yeah, yeah. Well, like comedians say, like they look at the one person who's not laughing versus like the 99 in the room
yeah,
who are laughing. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, like
No, I had really good experiences there. I met loads of people that I still have contact with, and I view them as my European family. Um, so it's kind of hard to know where I need to settle myself because I have family in South Africa, but I also have in Europe, and I'd like to see everyone still a few times before, not here anymore. Uh,
yeah,
but yeah, it's just I think I will forever be grateful for the UCI and for the center there. But as much as that place gave me an opportunity to grow and build me, it also kind of broke me down a little. Um,
okay,
because my last season there, I came back to South Africa a bit earlier, just completely in a black hole. Um, because one of the coaches told me that at that time I was struggling to find a team for the next season. And
hmm
normally they told us we can stay in the center team for maximum of 3 years. And I was inquiring about the chance of still going back for a third season. Um, but then the coach told me at that time that she didn't think that I have what it takes to make it in the sport. I've been given all the opportunities I was going to get, and yeah, I should maybe think about doing something else or going back to triathlon, joining the national team. And I was like, what national team? Do you understand? South Africa is not like Europe. Like, we don't have, if we go to Worlds or Africa Champs or whatever, it's all self funded. Like, there isn't a national team program like most countries. We don't race as a team together at races. So, if I don't get a contract, then basically that's me done. I have to go back to South Africa, find a job. That's it. So yeah, after that conversation, I was just like, well, what's the point of racing for a team and a coach that didn't believe in me? Why?
yeah,
Why? Why? So I went home early, ended my season, and then I was still trying to find teams, but yeah, it didn't. Many don't reply, or they say thank you, but no. Um,
we'll
and at
keep
the
your
same
file on
time,
record.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I was also I had to be realistic, and I was also applying for a job. So I graduated university as a high school teacher, English, home language, and biology. So I had to also be realistic, and I was applying for jobs. So I was basically trying from both ends, the cycling and
Mm,
the grown up life. I
yeah,
view it
yeah.
as that. Um, and it was like maybe 2 months that it just felt like I heard nothing from either side. Like,
hmm
it was either no or nothing. I felt like, what the hell am I doing with my life? I'm not good enough to be a professional rider or athlete. I'm not good enough to be a teacher. Like, I am 26 years old at that time. I'm still living with my parents. I have no income. And I see on Facebook people I went to varsity with, and people I went to school with married, children, getting promoted, and I'm like, I don't want to go to that school reunion. What the hell am I gonna say? Um, but yeah, then the coach I have now, who I met at the center that same year, uh, he talked me into doing the Zwift Academy again, which I almost didn't even finish. Um, and yeah, with that, winning that, then I got into Canyon Tram, and yeah, now we're here.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like hearing your story, I think you tell your story really well on your YouTube.
Thanks.
So I'll put this in the description so that people can find that because I think you certainly tell the story of Zwift Academy and how that went and also like the difficulties you faced in doing it and watching the episodes and just being involved because there's a lot that but I don't think we'll cover here. But certainly, yeah, a very trying time and one that I've been through similar myself, and it's not
Mhm.
nice, obviously. Um, and it's just it's kind of incredible the sort of mental fortitude that you had to get through that. Um, I, I don't know how.
I'm thinking my mental is not good enough. Like apparently life thinks I need to get stronger.
Yeah, yeah. There's God gives his challenges to the weak, strongest soldiers. I think. I don't know.
Well, when
Um,
did I sign up for the war? Like, can
yeah,
someone tell me?
exactly. Like, I've asked if he can just ease off a little, but so far
Yeah,
nothing. I assume it's a he. Maybe God's a woman. Let's be honest. Like, so
good.
anyway, what was it like then going from riding for World Cycling Centre to then racing for SRAM Generation and I is it still called SRAM Generation or Canyon Generation? I don't know because of
Uh,
the Zonda Crypto
it's a,
like oh
yeah, so it's a long name. It's now officially, at least, still Canyon Shram Zondo Crypto Generation. A mouthful.
wow. Yeah, that's FDG, Nouvelle Aquitaine, what a
I'm not
Futuroscope
even gonna
levels
try
of
to
long.
pronounce that. Yeah, no, that's just
Yeah,
FDJ.
I'm so glad they got the Suez and that's it now. It's like FDG
Yeah,
Suez done.
yeah,
Long names. There's a British team as well, which was used to be long. I can't remember it now, but
yeah.
it's now I think it's like Prognoctis, but it was like Red
Yeah, yeah,
Chili
yeah,
powered by. It's like
yeah,
it's good that you've got sponsors. Great, but it's a
yeah.
very long name. Um, but yeah, like what was it? Was there much of a difference between the two teams?
Um, yeah, yeah. I think if I compared the setup between the World Cycling Center and Canyon Shram is maybe slightly more professional. And this is gonna sound really lame if I say it like this, but I don't know how else to explain it. At the center, it's more like they do everything for you. They take care of you. You have a hostel you
Hmm.
stay in, like at a high school, basically. You have your breakfast, lunch, and dinners at the same place. They give it, they provide it. You have all the facilities, everything. Whereas at the Canyon Tram, it's more like real life. You have a team apartment, team house, but basically you take care of yourself. You make your own food. You have a mechanic coming in and out of Girona at times, so you have to make sure when he's there, you make an appointment if you have problems. Um, and the race, when we race more as a team compared to at the center. It felt like at times we were trying to race as a team, but generally there, everyone is always trying to get results for themselves so they can move
Mm,
into other teams. Whereas at Canyon, it was more like if at least you can show that you're doing your job, then the team would be happy because obviously cycling is a team sport, it's not an individual sport. Um, so whatever your role is on that day in that race, you do that. And I just felt like at the center, normally just everyone for themselves. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It's like it's a team by name, but not by manner.
yeah,
Whereas
yeah,
what I'm hearing is that the Canyon Shram was a bit more of a team by manner and kind of
Yeah, yeah,
yeah
yeah.
how
So
the sport
the
should be.
hope was yeah, the hope was always there that you learn how to work as a team together and you do your job, and if you do your job good, then eventually they will move you up to the world tour team and you continue your job, whether that be to be a domestique or win the race, doesn't matter.
Yeah, and after these sort of 4 years, do you have a sense of what type of rider you are, or are you still trying to like figure that out?
Uh, I'm definitely a rider more for climbing races. I do not like Belgium races. Those are not my type of races. So any teams out there, if you ever want, it would be the biggest mistake to ever put me in a Belgium race. Just saying. Um, so yeah, I do better in the French and Spanish races. So the more climbing, the better. Um, but sometimes I think, at least for now, I like the domestique role slightly more. There's less pressure. Like, you only
Hmm.
focus on doing your job for that day, and then it's up to the leader to perform, I guess. But I'm still learning to deal with that performance anxiety, I guess. But that's also what attracts me to gravel. It's like more similar, I guess, to triathlon, whereas, okay, maybe you're part of the team, but it's really just who has the strongest legs on that day. There is
Hmm.
skill involved, yes, but it's hard to really do team tactics, I guess, in gravel racing. So the pure intensity and adventurous side of it just really seems enticing to me.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it's suiting you. Or I mean, you've
Mm.
not done any, but the way you're
This,
talking about
this
it,
weekend.
the way you talk about it sounds like it's really gonna suit you and be sort of the vibe that you need. Um,
I hope so.
so yeah, because one thing I did notice was that YouTube video I mentioned was like I can't remember the exact title, so forgive me, but my note just says "Dreams Broken." I was like, oh,
Again.
this is like it's not the most positive title to have, but I can't
It's
remember
the
if it was
it's very honest. Let's put it like that.
yeah, and it's authentically you. I feel like.
Hmm.
Um, and that's something that I quite like actually is that authenticity about sport. It's not all, you know, belting it off the front and being Tadej Pogacar and winning everything. It's
Not
like
Yes,
there's a whole
exactly, and not everything that glitters is gold. So that's
yeah,
always, no. It's a hard life, but yeah, at the same time, I wouldn't want to do anything else. So that's why I think the title is more also like, I feel like 2 years ago, before I won Zwift Academy, I was basically in a similar situation in terms of what's next. And I didn't think I would ever be in this, I didn't want to be in the same situation again. So that's kind of like, now I'm like, what the do I do? But at least this time, I have a lot of contacts and a lot of people that want to help that I've gotten to know. So there are a few things on the table. It's just trying to see which ones are actually realistic and doable.
yeah. I think that's good. That it's kind of yeah, like almost to subvert the phrase of same shit different day. Like yeah, it's a different day because you're a different person now and you've
Yeah,
done it once, so you kind of know what is coming. And as hard as
yeah,
that is, because you've seen it before, you're like, oh yeah, I remember this was shit. Like, but
yeah.
you're also like, oh yeah, but I did get through it, and this is what I did, and I'm better armed to deal with it. As you said, you've got more contacts, you've got people that like almost like a support network that you can rely on, even if
Yeah,
it
but
can't give you tangible.
unfortunately, I cannot win Zwift Academy again. That is just the.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But okay, they
Yeah,
won't be doing it again this year, apparently.
No, okay. That breaking news here. Like, I'll be honest.
Oh,
There's elements. Well, no, it's just elements I'm not keeping up with at all
uh,
times. Like, I do find it harder to keep up with cycling just because TNT happened. My own
yeah,
bugbear, like that paywall in the UK, made it really difficult to keep up to date. And thank God for
yeah,
ITV having
yeah.
having the tour. Like I could watch that, and I could watch the Elite World Championships, which is a nice way to get into talking about that.
Mm.
So, how was that experience? Racing on your home continent. Like, it's kind of weird because I'd never ask this of a European rider because it's like, well, yeah, of course they've raced on their own continent. Like, that's where everything happens. But
Yeah.
for someone in South Africa and just in Africa in general, like getting the World Championships feels big. Was it like that for you, or yeah, how did you feel about it?
Uh, okay. So I said before I am very honest and authentic.
Yeah.
So my honest opinion is I feel okay. It's great that they want to do it in Africa, but my honest opinion is that maybe it's too soon. I don't feel like Africa is ready for this yet or was ready for it. Okay, it happened, and I think by all means, I guess it was pretty successful. But I've spoken to a few Europeans as well, and it was a complete culture shock for them when they arrived in Rwanda, which I thought for sure it will be because Africa, is not Europe. Because normally when I tell people I'm from Africa or South Africa, they're like, "Oh, I've been to South Africa," and I'll be like, "Where were you? Cape Town." Okay. No, sorry, that's not real Africa. That's like the Europe of South Africa of Africa. Um, so yeah, but it was cool to be on African soil and during World Champs. But yeah, my experience of that whole deal thing is a little bit tainted because I unfortunately got a big stomach bug or something or food poisoning, and it just yeah wasn't a great experience for me. So, but Rwanda was a lot better than I thought it would be compared to other African countries I've been to. So, in terms of that, maybe they picked a pretty good African country to host it. So, yeah,
Mm. Yeah, I guess it's got the sort of tradition of having the Tour de Rwanda and
yeah,
that sort of infrastructure almost, and Kigali being the capital. Is it the capital? I hope it is now. I've said
I
it.
think so.
Yeah,
Commit
I
to
think it
that.
is. Yeah, I'm going to say it is and rewrite atlases worldwide. But like, yeah, like it's a safer bet than going to, a smaller city that's maybe not as
It's
strong with
safer
your
than
infrastructure.
Zimbabwe or Morocco or Tunisia. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know.
so, well, indeed. So yeah, it was interesting to see. Certainly, in that like there were very vociferous crowds. That was really something that
No, for sure.
I enjoyed, and going up that climb at the finish was looked brutal. Um, yeah, I can't even formulate the question because contemplating that climb just feels because
No, the climb it was hard, but I kind of liked it because it's not Belgium cobbles. So that
yeah.
was it was difficult, but not completely like that type of cobbles. Um, it just went on forever and ever and ever, and you're like, when does this end? Um, but yeah, it was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. Because I watched. I think I'd managed to somehow. I can't even remember how, so I'm not going to get into trouble. Managed to watch the women juniors.
Mm,
Because there's a few people I've interviewed who are in that. I felt so sorry for Erin Boothman, who like on the final time up, she unclipped. Like I think
mm,
she'd. Oh well, in the time trial she unclipped, and then in the
mm,
road race on the final time, she like collided with another rider. I don't know who caused
So
the crash.
I think the rider in front of her got a cramp and then she swerved and she was
Yeah,
behind her, you know?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, it was just awful luck, and like sometimes cycling isn't just about the power. It's not just
No.
being able to drop watt bombs. Certainly, or certainly in road cycling more so. It
You
seems
can
like,
have all the power in the world, but that doesn't mean you're gonna do great in the race. I feel like I'm
yeah,
an example of that. I I generally have really good numbers, but yeah, here we are still.
yeah,
Anyway,
yeah. So, what are the sort of future plans? Is there anything you can tell us here, or is it sort of keep
yeah,
your eyes
yeah.
peeled?
No, I don't have any dramatic announcements to make yet. Actually, just before coming on the video call with you, I had a meeting with the South African cycling team that are going continental next year. So they're trying to get some experienced riders to help with the rider development. So maybe that's an option. But I'm still waiting for the proposal and see if it's actually okay or not. But then other option maybe me and my coach are looking that maybe I go work with him at his coaching company in Switzerland and part time, and then through that I can maybe get a visa and then still race overseas. Hopefully, going into like I really the Gravel Earth series kind of looks very exciting to me. I really yeah
Hmm.
I'd like to especially okay. Maybe I'm a bit biased because I've lived in Girona for 2 years, but I really want to do good in the tracker. So that looks like
Oh God,
something
yeah,
I really
that's
want to do.
that's a heck of a race though. Depending which version you pick, obviously, like Tracker
Well,
200, I think is
I
like,
I think the 200 maybe because I think that's where the points are for the Graveler series anyway. Um,
okay.
but yeah, so that kind of looks really cool. Um, but then I'm also speaking with Ashley in terms of she also mentioned that potentially she could help um, that I work for her company a little bit, and then through that still race in Europe, just be it on a I guess slightly lower level. Um, so yeah, there are a few, let's say, cards on the table. Um, I'm just not ready to give up on cycling yet and go into the adult life. I guess I would say the responsible decision of taking a stable job here in South Africa and completely leaving the sporting world behind. I don't I don't know if I'm ready. I know I'm not ready for that yet. So.
Well, that's really good to hear. And how can people then follow your journey? I always say, like, not follow you literally because you've got all the power, and you'd certainly be dropping me. So, yeah, how can people follow you in the metaphorical sense?
Yeah, so obviously I everything is on Strava. I don't hide everything. You can even analyze my data if you really wanted to. I really don't give a shit, so it's out there. Um, and then yeah, on Instagram also at Maddie underscore Maddie. And then I started now. Okay, I am aiming to do the second episode of my YouTube channel by like Sunday, Monday. That will like include this run up to this first gravel race. So yeah, I it's still a new thing to me, but I'm trying to tell my story in the most authentic, fun way I can on Instagram and YouTube. So we'll see if it works out. Even if it's just for
Yeah.
my mental health, it's fun to edit the videos.
Yeah, it's one of those again. It's like just letting people behind the curtain if they've made it this far. It's a bit of a
Mhm.
reward. Like I do, like at first I was like, oh, it'd be so cool to get like YouTube ads, but like the threshold you've probably seen
Mm.
is really high. Like
Yeah, yeah.
not everyone's going to be Mr. Beast. Let's be honest. Other people are definitely available and much better content creators. But like I just do it now because I like having these conversations, and I
Mm,
like speaking to people, and it's almost like an art of just getting a good conversation. I
yeah,
prefer that, and like if whatever comes from it, great. But for me, it's also an outlet, and it's escapism, and I get to
yeah.
just
You
be the
enjoyed it,
interviewer.
yeah,
Yeah, and like it creates a video. Cool, that video goes into the ether, and if one person watches it, brill. If
yeah,
100 do, also good.
great,
But like,
yeah,
yeah, chasing the number for the number's sake is it would destroy you if you tried. So
yeah,
I'd much prefer it to do it for the art of it.
yeah, yeah. No, for me, I it's great if I can increase the numbers. But I feel like if one person sees this and draws inspiration from it, like to not give up, then that's job done. Green tick. Then I've done what I could. And that was the point.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, thank you so much for your time, and yeah, I
Thank
can't
you
wait to
for having
see
me.
and hear how you got on. And yeah, enjoy your gravel debut.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, there you go. That was me and Maddie Roux chatting. Hopefully, you enjoyed it as much as I did. She's a very friendly person and someone who's, yeah, just so approachable. And I just hope that her amazing personality shone through. I can't wait to see what she gets up to next year. I'm sure we should keep our peepers peeled on that. But otherwise, until next time.